Welcome back to Dog Eat Dog Court TV. We've got a couple quick cases for you. The first one is a case where a young lady has a drug problem. The judge is reluctant to release her because he's not sure she has a stable place to live. And the second one is a guy, older gentleman called a DUI. He wants to represent himself and he's leaving the country in 2 days for 7 months, which obviously doesn't sit well with Judge Fleischer. Thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, like, share, subscribe. Cheers, enjoy.
Judge, I'm approaching on a Tammy Johnson. She is in custody at the moment. Did you get that, Judge? Tammy Johnson.
Yes.
So her bond is set currently at $1,001. She doesn't have any ability to make bond from kind of going through the procedural background of the case. It sounds like she'd gotten a GLB bond originally about a year ago.
Wow, she's been gone that long.
Well, did not come to a setting and have a chance to meet you, Judge. And so, because had she have gotten an admonishment from you, she'd have certainly attended.
Good try. Can you bring up Ms. Johnson, please?
She does not have any criminal history, and this is kind of a DWI. I've chatted with them briefly about it, but the allegation is that the police found her asleep in a parked vehicle at a gas station, and with the car in park, but they say on.
I've done the research. We had this issue not a week ago, and I'm telling you.
Well, it's sufficient from a legal sufficiency standpoint, it can stand, but what do jurors think?
I combed through like 20 cases. Give me a second.
Yes.
Stephen. Hey, hi, Stephen. Hey, I'm in the middle of talking. Give me maybe like 10 minutes. I'll call you right back, huh? No, it's okay. I'm super excited to talk to you. Give me 10, huh? Okay, bye. We did the diligence as far as that argument is concerned. My only concern now is that she's been gone for how long, but for this, she would still be wherever she is, right?
Well, she's got a kind of difficult financial situation. She's got family, but she's talked to her family and doesn't have the ability to make even what would be roughly paying $150 to get it. And, but she's 43 with no criminal history. She's got 2 children that she successfully raised to their young adults.
Come up, ma'am. You were Tammy Johnson. How's jail? How's jail?
Different, Judge.
Why do we have jails?
Criminals off the street, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good reason for sure. Why else?
Judge, she knows.
To make sure you come back. And when you don't, the sentences get longer, the bars get colder. Just, that when you fail to appear, your bond's at $1,000 right now. So all that needs is $100 and you're out, $125, you're out. You now know that you have no one to pony up that kind of money, no one to pony up that kind of money to get you out. Mr. Garris is asking me to let you out. The only reason you're here now is because you got busted. Otherwise, you'd still be out who knows where. Why would we let you out? You tell me.
She wants to move forward and deal appropriately with the case, and the state has given me quite a bit in the way of discovery to review. And as with any type of blood case, there's probably going to be more that we venture out to seek, but it'd be obviously sometime. We talked about it, the idea that these can take 6 months, 7 months to even get ready to see if it's a viable case for trial.
Therein lies the problem where, ma'am, you sit now in custody until the case is either pled, you're in trial, or somehow gets disposed of. that could take 6 months. Where have you been?
I'm trying to get my life together.
Judge, she's worked for a long time as a waitress and is living,
Yeah.
and she's living kind of difficult situation at the moment. So it's experienced bouts of homelessness and but now has a more stable situation. She has the ability to get to court and will be here. That's the representation we're making to the court. And I think we can do short resets if you'd like.
You know, Mr. Garris, I never want to leave someone in custody, but one of my primary concerns also is not putting someone out on the street. And I'm telling you now, I'm willing to give you another chance,
That's
but I'm not gonna put you out on the street if you ain't got nowhere else to go.
She does now.
I
She's
do.
living in she has a motel that she's living in now, kind of temporary housing.
yes,
But
it's permanent. It's been for a
I
while.
don't believe that for a second. Who do you have in your life that's willing to take you in?
I've got that information. Judge.
Before I had no one, but now I do.
But he just doesn't financially have the ability to.
The only thing that's changed between now and then is you got arrested. Ms. Johnson, the last thing I want is you to be put on the street where you look like you're going to start using again, because I don't want you to use. If I were to drug test you now, what are you going to test positive for?
Any discussion about that?
Here's the drug. I'm going to drug test you like crazy. And if I find that you're using, then I'm going to keep you. And I'm not going to play this game. You can't even look at me in the eye.
Drugs aren't a problem.
Stop talking.
Well,
Don't. Okay. At this point, Judge, I'm going to admonish my.
It's okay. That's all right.
So,
Where do you have to go?
Judge, let me answer all the questions. She lives in a motel, stable situation, can make her way back to court. And you can do short resets and we'll be here. And that's the understanding that we've talked about and I think would be appropriate at this time would be to give her a chance to come in, and obviously we'll comport with all the requirements that this court installs. And if we have to do testing, we'll do that. And
Let me make something perfectly clear to you, Ms. Johnson. I don't like it when people plead guilty just to plead guilty to get out. I'm not down with that. And we're not going to play that game here. So if I let you out, I expect several things from you. Number one, that you're not going to endanger my public. That's the first and foremost. Number two, that you're not using alcohol and or illegal drugs. And I'm telling you, I'm going to test you like crazy. If you can't stop on your own, then we will do it my way. And I promise you're not going to like the way that I do it. Do you understand?
sure.
Number three, if you don't have a license and liability insurance, you are not allowed to drive. Do you have a Texas driver license? Then you will be signing with me today an affidavit. This is a promise you're making to me that you're not going to drive. And I don't care if Jesus needs a ride to church, you get into a car and drive. I can have a contempt hearing and you'll be facing 6 months every time you drive. Do you understand? Do you want me to give you a PR bond? Can you stop using?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to let you out and I'm going to have you come back here on Tuesday. And I want you to come back and take a test on me on Tuesday. And I want to know for sure. You got to understand, you've played Monopoly, right? What do you get in Monopoly to get out of jail? What do you get? You get a get out of jail free card, right? This is the only one you're going to get. You're not going to get another one. Do you understand? So I will let you out now, but I expect you to comport and comply with conditions. And that's it. I'm not asking for much. I'm just asking you to be sober and come back to court and stay in touch with counsel. That's all.
thank you, Judge.
Of course. Now, we will set her for Tuesday. She got to come back here Tuesday. You don't come back, a warrant will issue, and we're going to just play the 6-month waiting game while you're there. Because I'm telling you, I don't accept pleas just to get out of jail. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
She can't go yet, though. We need her to sign conditions with, yeah.
Judge, can you go over those conditions again?
No drugs, no alcohol, random urinalysis. She's gonna come back on Tuesday to take a drug alcohol test and no driving. And show up to court. And I'll reinstate it that we don't have to work on the bond. Sure. Mr. Cameron, what time does court start?
8:30.
What time did you get here?
I
Excuse me,
just got
Judge.
here.
He called, he's on the docket next Friday,
Oh, thought
and
it
he
was
explained
today.
that he was leaving the country, and I told him to come.
got it. Okay, thanks, Ramona.
You're
So,
welcome, Judge.
Mr. Cameron, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Officers initiated a traffic stop after observing the defendant failing to maintain a single lane and swerving between lanes without signaling. Upon the traffic stop, officers observed slurred speech and glassy bloodshot eyes. The defendant on his own immediately stated, "You're going to make me walk the line, aren't you?" Defendant admitted to drinking a glass of wine and taking a Valium. SFSTs were conducted, 6 out of 6 HGN, 5 out of 8 walk and turn, 3 out of 4 one-leg stand. DIC was read and defendant consented to blood draw.
Look to see if he has any prior DWIs, please. Valid Texas driver license. Mr. Cameron, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. You will not get more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Are you going to allow me to speak
What did you want to say?
in my defense?
I don't want you to talk about the case now. I've got a bunch of DAs here and everything that you say, they can use it against you.
Absolutely.
Now it's
And
not,
I have nothing to hide, sir. I'm leaving the country. I have to leave the country to teach Bible and English in Ukraine on Monday. I've been planning this for months.
I'm not putting a travel restriction on you. I'm just ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs.
I haven't.
Um,
I had 2 lens replacements that week, sir.
From now on, while this case is open, you are not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication.
I don't anyway.
Well, then it shouldn't be a problem. But you're going to be randomly tested. How long are you planning on being out of town?
7 months until May,
This is going to be an issue. When are you leaving?
Monday.
You need to hire a lawyer. You need to talk to a lawyer about this so we can work something out. But you now have an open criminal case. You can't take off for just 7 months. It's not going to, that can't happen. It's going to be an issue.
Half of the things that officer said was a lie.
That's why we have trials.
Okay.
You know, that's why I get it. There's always 2 sides to a story. I understand. The evidence will point to whose side is correct. I don't know. I wasn't
May I
there.
ask you a question, sir?
Sure.
When does the blood work come in?
It takes a couple months. You have to understand that we live in a city of around 3 million people. On average, I probably have around a couple hundred DWIs that I'm working every week. In those, nearly every one of those is a blood test. So they are just overwhelmed with the amount of blood tests that they're working at any given time. So basically you get in line and then it just, when it's
Sir,
your
I had-
turn, that's when they do
I
it.
had 4 ounces of wine.
Let's not talk, please. Everything you say, they're going to sit there and they're going to type it
Absolutely,
against
I'm
you.
ready.
Don't. Now's not the time. You need a lawyer to represent you. What
I will be
do-
my own lawyer, sir.
Would you perform open heart surgery on yourself? And let me tell you this.
I have nothing to hide.
Let me tell you this. If you're going to represent yourself, I'm going to require your presence here every month to go through discovery. Whereas if you have a lawyer, I waive appearances, right? Just, you can't represent yourself and be gone for 7 months. It don't work like that. So if you hire a lawyer, I will waive your appearance.
I
You
can
know.
do this by remote.
You can't. Your lawyer can. If you represent yourself, I require your appearance
All
here.
right, sir. You're talking about a public defender? If one is appointed for me?
You have to qualify. I don't give out public defenders like it's candy on Halloween. You have to qualify. If you have an income and you meet the federal poverty guideline, then we will appoint you a lawyer. But if you don't qualify, then you have to go hire a lawyer. But once you do hire a lawyer, I waive appearances so you don't have to waste your time coming to court. And then at that point, your case will be put off around 4 months, give or take. And then when the evidence comes in, that's when we start working the case. But you have to understand that we randomly call people to take a drug and alcohol test. And if you don't show up, we issue warrants. So that could be an issue. So that's why you need a lawyer to represent you.
Can I say something about the Valium?
No, what you say now will do nothing as to whether there's probable cause, whether it's going to get dismissed, whether this or that. It has nothing to do with, and you're only hurting yourself. Nothing you can say right now will make it to where the case gets dismissed, whether it just doesn't.
Okay, Judge.
I'm doing that to help you, believe it or
Yes,
not.
sir.
You know,
Yes, sir.
we have a lot of people that come in here and they just want to run gun, just let's go now. Unfortunately, the law works at a snail's pace. And I know that it infuriates about 90% of the people, but that's just the way it goes.
And you're
I
right.
didn't invent it. I just try to
All right, sir.
micromanage.
If you may, in regard to the defendant's license, we see that he appears to have an out-of-state California license that is suspended in the case, except in the case of employment. So it appears to be an out-of-state occupational license.
License, I'm going to bar you from driving as well, sir. You know? And I'm going to tell you now, if you have an occupational license in California, you've now picked up a DWI. Once they get wind of that, it's very possible they revoke that license as well. If he has an occupational license, it's got to be because of a DWI. Why else?
Can I
Just don't
speak?
say, no, don't. It's going downhill real quick. Don't. Now's not the time. You need a lawyer. When do you leave on Monday?
7 a.m. from McAllen.
Oh, to McAllen.
No, from McAllen to Warsaw. Train to Kiev.
What I would do is get on it quick today to see about hiring a lawyer.
Okay.
And then they can appear on your behalf on Monday and we can work through the logistics. Don't just take off, because I'm telling you, if you just take off, I'm going to issue a warrant. And the next time you ever try to get on a plane, they're going to arrest you and it's going to be, you'll sit in custody for months. It is a potential incredibly big headache.
So what does the lawyer need to do on Monday?
You need to have a lawyer. The lawyer needs to come, file paperwork to represent you. And then we can talk about how to work the logistics with the case.
And we got to do that before 7 a.m. when the plane takes off?
Well, no. I mean, we don't start court here till 9 o'clock. So, hopefully if you hire a lawyer this weekend, they can try to get a hold of us through email and perhaps we can work on it through the weekend, but
Okay.
you got to get on it
I'll
quick
get on it.
because lawyers don't work on the weekends and it's already Friday. And I can tell you, not many lawyers work very hard on Friday.
Here, one more question, please.
Sure.
Even if it's used against me, can I explain the California license revoked?
Don't.
All right.
Just really, I know that you want to, it's just now's not the time.
Okay.
What we do is we usually give around 30-day resets for people to hire a lawyer, but I'm advising you to do it,
Okay.
Tell
me where to go right now.
Okay. So you're showing he has a suspended license for sure, right?
That's what it shows on our end, Your Honor. Suspended except for that employment
Okay,
exception.
I'm going to have you sign this affidavit promising us you're not going to drive. I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria. You sign the reset with Victoria. We'll have you meet with Felicia for your bond conditions that you're not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. understand, I don't care where you are. I know that you're going to Poland or wherever, you can't consume alcohol.
And you don't want me to drive from now?
Well, you have to follow the law. If you don't have a license, you're not allowed to drive.
Okay, all right, sir. All right, sir, all right.
Judge, were you saying to put it on Monday?
Well, he's gone Monday.
Okay,
I
so
would just say a 30-day reset and then just, have a lawyer as quick as you can. Theoretically, you don't have to. You could be out of town and still get with the lawyer and the lawyer can come. We just need to
No,
know before the next setting.
Yes, sir.
Because if you're not here or it's someone here on your behalf by the next setting and you don't appear,
Yes,
people don't appear, we revoke bonds.
yes, sir.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a teacher.
How much money do you make a month?
I would say that
Be honest.
I just started with Tomball ISD, so I have barely worked a month, maybe 800.
How do you support yourself?
I have been working, I'm a retired teacher out of California. And so I have retirement, but I'm trying to come on to Tomball to add to my retirement.
So you earn a monthly stipend as
Yes,
a
sir.
part of your retirement.
Yes, sir.
And how much money do you make from that a month?
About plus Social Security.
All in, all
About 5,000 a month. Plus the 800 that I just made.
see a prior DWI.
I didn't see anything when I ran this criminal history, Judge. I can try again if you'd like, but nothing is showing up.
How many people are in your household? Who do you live with?
I'm living currently with my sister.
You're not married. You don't have children.
I am going through a divorce. My wife and son are in California.
So let's do this. I'll have you come sign this. I'll have you sign the reset. I'll get you with Felicia for your bond conditions. We'll set you off a month. Just be careful out there.
All right, sir. All right, sir.
Judge, we're keeping the Ravens.